I wanted to know what your thoughts were on Molinism and how that relates to God, like knowing all possible contingencies. Like, for example, Joseph in the Bible being sold into slavery by his brothers. This might be more of a speculative question, but I think about God, being outside of time and being able to, see the end from the beginning. Could it be said that, God, knowing that happens, but knows a different situation where that doesn't happen and decides to choose, that situation where it wouldn't happen?
I think that God knows all possible contingencies. He knew what would happen if we existed in other circumstances, in other words. If God is all-knowing, then that seems to be true. And William Lane Craig, whom Anna had here, 4 or 5 years ago, is a big proponent of that. And if you go to his website, reasonablefaith.org, he'll have articles and different things you can look at. I think that makes sense, that God knows all different possible contingencies. And so when God elects to create a universe, since he knows everything, he knows how it's going to turn out. But that doesn't mean he's causing it to turn out in a deterministic way. Just because he knows what's going to happen doesn't mean he's causing it to happen. Just like we might know the sun's going to rise in the east tomorrow, but we're not causing it to rise in the east, right? Knowledge does not imply causation. So I think that's one way to reconcile this idea that God is sovereign and man has free will. When God elects to create a universe, he's electing the outcome, but he's not forcing the outcome. He's just allowing it to play out. And he may intervene, of course, through miracles and God's providence and that kind of thing, but he's not overriding human free will to do so. Does that make sense?